The Critical Hit podcast contains foul language, sexual subjects, and other things that are inappropriate for children. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Critical Hit, Foul Mouth Podcast, where we talk about everything. I'm your host, Red King, and with me always is Crimson and Chrono Word.
Point my microphone adjustment. I'm sorry.
What was that?
I was trying to adjust my microphone. I was struggling.
Oh, your cord's all crazy.
Listen, let it go.
Tonight, we are we're gonna argue about which verse could kill the other verse. In our new series,
Committed.
right? Verses.
Yeah,
Be that short of a segment. Okay.
So
No.
So I'm just gonna let you know I'm coming in with some big brain moves here. Just letting you know.
Are you sure you are? You can't even get your fucking microphone.
I gotta
to work.
shred it. Yeah, I'm also melting.
Are you
Not the Wicked Witch of the West.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
We are Critical Hit, and versus starts now.
Hut.
Before we begin,
Help Critical Hit afford a quiet portable AC.
no, maybe. We're taking donations through OnlyFans.
I'll shake it. I will.
But we're back. This is going to be the first in like 3 weeks that we are back to the
To the cast.
yeah, we're going to have some audio content coming out. So you playing all fast and loose with throw it on the screen. It's got to stop.
I will never. Just understand. I will throw it back on the screen.
I saw that sneeze was like brewing. He was locked in like a very
The percolation of the
like a very focused combat with it. But yeah, man. Let's
Well, I'm watching this carpenter ant just crawl around.
that's really reassuring to know that's in my basement.
He's making his way downtown. She's making her way downtown. Walking fast. Bitch is fast. What the fuck?
Whoa.
Like most male insects, they only, one, they can fly, two, they mate and die. That's it.
Well, most male incels, it's much the same.
No, they never get to mate.
Yeah, you're right about that.
If they did though, could you imagine the
The strain on their fucking fat, bloated hearts.
that's
The pericarditis is serious in them.
I don't know. Modern incel is a little.
Yo, you took that and you ran.
That's horrible.
Unlike them.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my gosh.
We are. That is.
Oh my gosh.
Hot to death,
You
hot
know
to
what?
death.
You know what? You cooked it. It's fine. It's fine.
So let's make some arguments about some verses, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, like, right? Isn't that the current argument? Is that this person can take the whole verse, right? We're not gonna do one person. We're gonna do 5 people. I decided. I was inspired by the Dragon Ball Super cover art with like all the friggin'. It was Gohan, Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Toyotaro was saying that like that's gonna pretty much be the lineup. That's the main line guys.
That's the 5 guys, burgers and fries.
And right? So like I'm really confident in my favorite series. I have like that Shenron behind me on the daily.
That hot Shenron poster.
Yeah. who could stop that lineup? I don't think anybody can. I'm going to break it down.
Okay.
That was a useless joke.
Yeah, just so you know, that cut's gonna be wild.
That's now a short.
Yeah.
That was a dud, is what that was.
There's gonna be twerking Omni-Man around you. I'm just like,
I've decided to kind of put it in like classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Goku's got his mastered autonomous Ultra Instinct. He's the all-rounder.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got, to outline Ultra Instinct, it allows him to dodge without thinking, is the big deal of it. So he pretty much becomes untouchable. That's like, he got it from Whis, who is kind of able to dog walk Beerus. He just doesn't.
Please tell me you speak English.
okay. Fair.
So that combined with all the other Goku moves, and I've done a little bit of research on the powers. There's a lot of downsides. I will get to that, especially with Goku's. All of his special techniques have horrible downsides.
Yeah.
But that's why he's the all-rounder. He doesn't really have the true chops. Goes to the team, and he's got a good team. So Vegeta, DPS as fuck. His fighting style is tailored towards culling large groups of opponents.
Not 5 though.
Fair play, but
see, mitigation, that was my strategy too.
But what he does is he mitigates Goku's really crappy having to stand still to charge all of his ultras.
This is true.
Gallic gun could be fired midair.
He's done it.
Yeah, it and from any position. He doesn't need to be standing still like the Kamehameha.
The only thing is, instant transmission Kamehameha happened. That did happen.
It took a lot.
And it's one move.
And it happened one time.
Yeah.
So he's got like he does like the blast barrage like no one else. He's really great with that. He can handle moving a lot better than Goku can by a massive margin. I've been watching a lot of Daima, and they kind of tuned in on each character's fighting style.
They kind of had to. That's lean in. Is that they're just really good but different.
Yeah. Piccolo. Oh, by the way, we're talking about transformations as well. You take your characters at their best form. I'm not gonna be like, oh well, season 1, fucking. I don't know, Mob.
There might be an argument.
He has some breaking point moments, but 9 times out of 10, his fights go one way, straight to hell. If he's going against the Dragonball guys,
I don't know. That might be an interesting one.
So,
later,
Ultra Ego is Vegeta's signature transformation. It just really makes him do more damage, and every time he gets injured, he gets stronger.
Fair.
It's like kind of a little special thing, turn a little bit of that damage into more damage. Piccolo's got his, and I've been trying to find a really cool name for it. He doesn't have a really cool name for it.
No,
he's Orange Piccolo. Yeah, he's like an orange chicken.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, this motherfucker is on a Chinese menu somewhere. He's on Happy Panda somewhere.
We gotta hijack the name.
Or somebody got creative with a woodwind instrument.
Yeah.
Fair. That's
like, why'd you paint that? Is that gonna mess up? Is that gonna mess up the holes? Like, no, dude, chill.
I made this from the guts of a kazoo.
If we know about Piccolo, it's all about messing up the holes. If he can stretch his arms, oh man.
Bro, Namex don't fuck. They reproduce asexually.
Piccolo don't fuck.
They
Piccolo fucks.
they reproduce asexually.
Yeah, but
They
that don't
lay
mean
eggs.
that don't mean that he can't.
That's actually exactly what that
That's
means.
probably exactly what that means. I don't know about Namekian physiology. You know what I mean? What if something's still there?
I don't think it is. Anyways,
What if it looked like the arm too? You know what I
they're
mean?
slugs.
Yeah, but like, what if it looks like the arm though?
So
It's got like the patches.
technically speaking, mollusks don't reproduce asexually.
Well, that one does.
They engage in a practice called penis fencing for snails
Oh, I remember
because
you.
they're hermaphroditic.
I do
So they
remember
have
you.
both parts.
Good lord!
And the
Not making-
loser is the one that gets pregnant.
That's a.
I've played some games before.
You gotta bring your A game. Otherwise,
No, you got to bring your D game.
I want to let you know right now, you are fucked.
No, D.
He means literally.
so
Is that why
Slugging
Piccolo
that
can never
ass.
win fights?
he be winning fights.
He's out here raw dogging people.
No,
man.
he's been winning fights. He's been winning fights. Totally.
17 is his bitch. That's why he came back bigger. He ain't gonna let that shit happen again.
My word. Super 17 is not canon.
I know.
You have Gohan with his beast transformation. He's gonna be specialist. He's got a lot of his training from Piccolo shines through,
Mhm.
True.
and he's got a power that is not necessarily Saiyan in nature.
Well, yeah.
He's like specialist, or he's gonna be I think specialist, just because Orange Piccolo is gonna be gotta find a better name. He's gonna be like Sniper, because the special beam cannon has got like
And arms, boy.
Wow. He's got ridiculous ranged ability.
That motherfucker, they gotta start using that shit more.
Yeah.
They did that like once in Z, and then they were just like, never again.
He did it a lot in the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's true. But
Because he was vastly different. Like, he
Yeah.
was the first of the well, they had the androids, whatever, but
he could rap and whip, man. That would be a fucking
yeah, just like suplex somebody.
yeah.
Just like from a standing
That's what I'm
position.
saying.
It'd be
Yeah.
great. And then we have Broly, who is Broly. In Dragon Ball Super, they kind of really toned him down a lot.
They gave him Riz in Super, which was a little weird.
They gave him like
He's got dummy Riz. Like he's got
dumb boy.
Yeah,
Riz.
like working on a farm Riz, bro.
Yeah, he's got dumb farm boy Riz.
Yeah.
But he's a tank. He's a tank
Yeah, that makes sense.
of that squad. So to round it out, we've got all rounder with Goku. We have specialist with Gohan. We have DPS with Vegeta. We have tank with Broly, and we have sniper with Piccolo. All of them are capable of destroying planets.
Mhm.
Right.
Piccolo blew up the moon in like season 1 without a lot of real effort. He just said, ha! And it was gone.
Yeah.
Planetary bodies, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a good fighter if the ground underneath you is completely gone and you are sucked into the vacuum of space. There are a few guys that can really come back from that. They've just been laying hands since the 70s.
Laying hands since the 70s, man. Damn. We need to make an album.
They stumbled a little bit with magical foes. When Babidi and Majin Buu started making their rounds, but after that, locked in, their fight with Moro went a lot differenter.
Still had to be a challenge. And then fucking Goku did that thing where he had like the fucking his big like super armor shit. Remember that shit?
Yep.
He did that?
Yep.
That was crazy. Spoiler alert, by the way. But that was a spoiler for me too. I'm like, this motherfucker had like a avatar armor state. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So here's the thing. I had a thought, and this is my thought. So this is a series I'm actually not horribly familiar with. I've watched like bits and pieces of the first season, but I've watched a lot of retrospectives. So I'm going to call in assistance from you since you have your tablet and I don't have my phone currently. I need you to look up Hajime no Ippo.
You think that motherfucking
so there's a strategy behind this.
Okay.
And it only semi works. I have a fighting chance because you picked all heroes. That's the only reason why this works. Because if you sanction a boxing match, you got a box. You can't use anything else. You got a box. So now here's the thing. In the past, we've seen the Z fighters scale back in tournaments. That's happened before when they were fighting humans. So my strategy was, because it's pretty hard to argue strength versus strength with anybody in Dragon Ball to a certain extent.
Okay.
Because there's always a new level, and the newest level is arguably somewhat infinite. So instead, I'm trying to force them to have to scale back.
Okay.
So if there was villains in your lineup, this wouldn't have worked at all. But there are no villains in your lineup. Because I know Takayama and I know Ippo off the top of my head. But there's a one dude who's like super fast. That's his whole thing, is just speed. And there's a one dude who's like, I think Takayama's he's the tank.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's the big guy who fights big guy style. Ippo is all around her. Like I said, there's one who's like, it's something Jack, I want to say, who's like lightning fast. And yeah. So the thing that I'm thinking is we take them and we sanction them in a boxing match. And none of the Z Warriors are straight up boxers. So I say Ippo's got DBZ verse by unanimous decision. That's what I'm trying to argue here. If you had to play the rules of boxing, could they do it? Specific punches. They'd be liking to kick arms and necks a lot in Dragon Ball.
That's an illegal move, yeah.
No beams. So you really limit the weapons.
I'm not willing to accept this. Wait.
I like it. It's a good strategy.
I was thinking hard about this because I was about to go Fist of the North Star. Because they do have insta-kill moves.
And dynamite.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's fucking argue, right? Let's try to think of the last time they had to scale back the punching machine in the early Majin Buu arc.
Mm-hmm.
I think Broly's out because he's just gonna be like, what? He's gonna get eliminated because he's gonna low blow.
Yep.
Or he's gonna kill somebody.
Now, mind you, it's an automatic loss if you kill somebody in a ring, just so you know. Automatic loss. So even when they scaled back for the punching machine, they still destroyed the punching machine. So they'd have to scale back more.
Broly's never fought in any of the Earth tournaments, right? He's never gone up against Hercule or anybody like that.
Mm-hmm. Because you got to remember, if any of the Z Warriors are trying to knock somebody out, they're going to kill them. If
Gohan is actually going to be the best one here.
Actually, I was thinking the same
Yeah.
thing. Gohan
Okay.
Loki got the best chance.
Yeah, you had my jaw hanging for a minute. I was like, this is not how I expected it to go. I was shooketh.
This is fair because the only way the Ippo guys are going to fight is if it's in a boxing match.
Okay. This is pissing me off. Because you know how, like, in Dragon Ball, when like human characters do like the flurry of they do it like a couple kicks here.
Yeah.
Those are all worth points.
That's points, boy.
And it pisses me off. So, and they've been throwing hands against gods. A lot of them, besides Gohan.
It goes up and up. It only scales up.
So, ironically, Piccolo's your next best one, right? Because he still remembers fighting humans.
Mhm.
But when he was King Piccolo, he was trying to kill people.
Yeah.
And he snapped Krillin's neck, his little child neck.
But he held back on Gohan, though, even with training. So he knows a thing or two about holding back. I think he's got the best.
Second best.
Yeah, second best. Second best by probably a pretty large margin still.
Because then after that, it's Goku, and then Vegeta and Broly, I feel like, are still just going to accidentally kill somebody.
Vegeta, the only reason why he wouldn't is because he's getting that sweet, sweet Bulma.
That Bulma-see.
Yeah. I don't think he would want to go to jail. I mean, jail couldn't hold him, but you got to follow certain rules. You know what I mean?
Damn it. Okay. I still think.
If Goku,
I still think Gohan could take that verse.
but it's 1-on-1.
He
You-
could
This
consecutive rounds. He's not going to get gassed.
the only thing is though, if we're going boxing rules, you don't fight back to back. You go one on the night on the fight card. You go one, then next, then next, then next. If we're going on a fight card, Gohan's not going multiple rounds or multiple matches.
This is stupid. That is absolute bullshit.
Why? He's making you think.
that was kind of my challenge here because I'm like the Dragon Ball verse, even Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball would be hard to argue for a lot of things. Obviously, you get into things like Naruto and Bleach, you know, kind of early versus early, you might have a chance. But as soon as Z happens, you're not you're hard pressed to start winning against that.
So, okay. I'm going to argue that Broly could shout somebody into submission.
No points for that, though.
You points though.
If you make somebody surrender, you win the match. If you make somebody walk out, you win. Because they forfeit. That's a forfeit.
The only thing is, very few fighters in Ippo verse quit. They get beat to the ground, dude. They don't run. Them motherfuckers have heart. Fucking Ippo, he works on a fucking fisher boat, bro. He don't know about quit, bro. You ain't making Ippo quit. You would have to put Ippo against Gohan. That would be the only chance that you would have.
Well, I mean,
Ippo might have early CTE, canonically.
oh shit.
He was having random passing out spells.
Oh damn.
Yeah, that shit got real. I was like, they better not go that route with the story.
Oh. That'd be sad.
That'd be
Doing that to my boys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, damn, this little fucking plucky motherfucker. And it's like, damn, he
So the thing is, okay, Vegeta knows how to hang. He knows how to hold back. Because remember when he was going to sacrifice himself to kill Majin Buu? He was able to knock out Goten and Trunks without killing them. They're small children.
small children Saiyans.
Fuck you, though. But they're half Saiyans.
Okay, would we say, if you would imagine the chop that he gave him, imagine he gave that chip. Now, mind you, he can't do that either. He has to punch. So he don't get a knockout chop.
He punched. It was. He punched Goten.
Yeah, he punched him in the stomach.
He gave him a little pop, knocked him out.
Okay.
He gave Trunks the chop.
Now, do you?
He chopped his own son.
So do you think? Because the only thing that we could try to argue at that point is how much force do you think that is comparatively We can even go back to the punching machine, not even trying.
So with that, he didn't break any bones. He didn't do anything like that.
But they are still Saiyan bones, even though they can go Super Saiyan. By that point, they were fusing. By any other measure, they could probably take a hit from a car and be fine. Which I'm not.
The dead air in this fucking episode's gonna be
egregious.
Yeah, it's gonna be psychotic. There's just be people just waiting for somebody to say something.
Now, what I necessarily
this is pissing me off.
You gotta think. You gotta think in a clever way if you're trying to beat these guys. Power versus power almost never works on Dragon Ball Z characters. Even the heroes, most of the time, they're winning by some weird harebrained scheme. My biggest hope was that you weren't going to pick villains. Because if it was villains,
like Cell, Frieza, Majin Buu, Kid Buu.
So this is what I'm saying.
Moro,
Babbity.
we have an argument that Gohan, Piccolo, maybe potentially Vegeta would be able to hold back enough for there to be a fight to begin with. I don't think Goku's smart enough to hold back enough. I'm gonna be real, but
he's fought humans though.
He has fought humans. This is correct. But do you think that they would be able to? Because I'm just going to be real. If they're trying to knock someone out, they're going to kill him. We're just going to accept that. If a Saiyan is going to try to, especially a Saiyan who's fought gods, if they're going to try to knock somebody out, they're going to kill him. So I'm willing to argue they would have to try to win by points. And do you think they would be able to do that?
Okay. I think Gohan could win.
You get a training camp 5 week.
Gohan wins.
Boxing.
Gohan wins with theatrics. He can say a man that shit, and he can ghost hit people.
He can say, "I'm willing to accept that." That's a good argument.
So what he would do is he'd land punches and win by points. He could throw many more punches than any of those characters can, pound for pound, easy.
True.
He would teach Piccolo that, and Piccolo would instantly learn it because you want to know why? That's his son. Now, now, what we have to worry about is son, worst father of the year, Goku. He could try.
Okay.
He's had enough comedical hitting of humans and just knocking them flat out that I'm going to argue he can fucking do it.
See, I think my thing there though is that how long has it been since he actually fought just a human?
Very long time.
So even if he's like flicking, which still not technically allowed, he blows up the ring because Goku would do something that stupid because he would redirect the energy from the human into the ground.
I am so pissed off. This is the dumbest fucking. This is the dumbest thing I've ever come up with.
Because you were like, you had all the powers, you had the feats and everything. I'm like, yeah. What about boxing? No. What about boxing? Because they're gonna have to take a 5-week training camp to learn the rules. They're gonna have to learn because you can't strike below the belt either. That's another thing. So your shots are now limited. You have to try to work past their defense in a way to not outright kill them.
You can hit the head, but you can't hit the neck, right?
You cannot hit the neck. It's all the best thing you can do is hit the chin and turn it. That's how most knockouts happen.
Yeah, but if a Saiyan does that,
that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you right now.
You want to know what pisses pisses me off because boxing has been your thing for a hot minute.
I was training today, boy.
I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
This does not go how I expected it to go. I was like, because like Piccolo can target you without even having to see you.
Yeah.
Freaking, he could just clock you and he could be charging that special beam cannon. He could just turn and just pop you. You know, stuff like that was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
About. I was thinking about Broly being able to physically punch through a fucking mountain. Like, all the crazy shit. He made Goku scream in fear, and this is Super Broly.
Good gosh.
Remember, did you watch that one?
The movie? The Broly
Yeah,
movie?
he dragged my boy's face across a
that's right.
glacier. And Homeboy was going, ah! Ah! You know what I mean? That's what I was talking about. That's what I was thinking about.
Because it's an interesting argument to be made that
Okay, how about ring outs? If you launch somebody out of the ring,
ring outs can't happen.
It's not wrestling. It's boxing.
Yeah. You can't. If anything, you can fight on the ropes, but if you start going through ropes, they reset you.
fucking A.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Like, if anything, if you launch your opponent out of the ring, I feel like you're just disqualified.
If you're egregiously breaking rules, yes, because that's the other thing I was thinking is that there are characters like Vegeta is a character that would try to break a rule. I would say his pride would get in the way if he had to play by boxing rules and couldn't hit certain areas and everything like that. I would argue his pride would get in the way and he'd get disqualified.
Damn, dude, this was rough.
Now,
and like the arguments that I could, if they had 5 weeks to practice not killing somebody.
So here's my thing. Goku's not going to practice.
because he's not even going to take it seriously.
Vegeta's not going to practice either.
Because that's the other thing. Saiyan pride is a huge thing. They're not going to take anything about this seriously.
Yeah.
They're just going to be like, there's no, especially with Ultra Instinct, he's going to be like, he's never going to be able to hit me anyways. It doesn't matter. He's not going to practice.
And he misses the memo. You can't use Ultra Instinct.
Now, I will say you might be able to slip an Ultra Instinct in there just because they wouldn't necessarily know that it's happening. When it comes to energy things, they would be like, hey, what the fuck is that?
Oh, damn. I was not... Why do I always lose? That was really bad. Why do we...
I was trying my damnedest to be clever about it. Like I said, if there was one villain in there, it doesn't matter.
If it was based off of fucking boxing rules, then yes, I fucking suppose they wouldn't get it.
That's how them guys fight. They settle everything in the ring.
So they could beat they could beat the Dragon Ball verse in boxing. That's a big asterisk. About as big as possibly a screen.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
That was my argument, man. Now I've been thinking about this quite a bit.
Do we have anything else that's not bullshit? Chrono.
I got something. I'm going to take the DC universe.
Oh!
You're really gonna bring back Goku versus Superman?
I'm not using Superman.
He said no Superman. Oh, gosh.
Now I'm number interested. 1, Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan. Oh, my goodness.
A nuclear bomb guy?
He can rearrange matter, including reconstituting himself.
Interesting.
He's a god.
This is true.
Which, when we're dealing with Dragon Ball Z, that's what you need. Dr. Fate. We need magic.
Yeah. Dr. Fate's a good one. That's a good one. Plus, I love his costume. I'm not gonna lie.
Green Lantern Lobo.
What?
Lobo is kind of some bullshit.
Wally West Flash, because he's the only one that's ever survived the faster than light punch.
Yeah, which he can keep up speed wise, because that's what them DBZ guys be doing.
And number 5, who am I picking? Omega Batman.
he came to play.
He did come to play.
I came with some technicality.
I am fucking murked by this completely. So I don't think. Okay, so just by speed alone, I'm gonna count out Dr. Fate. I think he does have some reality bending powers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that is going to be enough to stop somebody from just zip banging up to him and killing him with a punch.
Okay.
He doesn't have enough physical durability for that.
I could do the thing. Is there prep time?
So the thing is Omega Batman is literally the Batman that dealt with like the guy at the edge of the universe and answered all of the questions and inherited those powers. So he basically has like time powers and shit.
Yeah, because that's kind of what I'm thinking, right? And the reason why I asked if there's prep time, if they know this is going to go down, if Dr. Fate shows up, he's not going to be like, show up, let them ping on me. He's going to immediately bend reality to then work with potential fast movement, teleportation.
So
Hit him with a trap teleport or something like that. Open up a fucking portal to some fucking horror dimension. Trap him in there.
Well, there is also the strategy of you sacrifice one to be able to take out one of theirs.
Brutal, but yes. Dr. Manhattan. He would do that.
He would absolutely
Yeah, he would do that in a second.
So I guess the question is, who can deal with nuclear blasts? I'm going to say instant transmission's going to save Goku.
Right, but here's my thing. If he just gets matter rearranged, the Saiyans have never actually dealt with that sort of power. They can blow up planets, but that's not really rearranging matter. Because here's the thing, right? So Saiyans are still mostly carbon-based life forms, right? They can reproduce with humans, so they have to have some analogy to human biology. If you just twist up a little bit of their energy or anything inside of them, like Goku's arm, let's just say, oh, now it's selenium. Doesn't work with his body. His body starts attacking itself.
Yeah, so his arm turns into Celine Dion. Shit goes crazy.
And like, how resistant are the Z fighters to like poison?
You know what I'm gonna say? Goku got a heart disease. They are somewhat susceptible. Goku got a heart disease. Which is awesome. Can we just throw this out here that there was a future where he died from a heart disease?
Yeah,
That's the thing. I'll give you Dr. Fate, but almost as quickly Piccolo's gone. He's the weakest of the Z fighters.
Yeah, and you know what? There might even be an argument to be made here too. They never start their fights in like max form. They always power up. There's never a time where they're just like right from the jump. Now, if we argue that it turned into like a tournament type thing, you know what I mean? Like the tournament of power or something like that.
They didn't. Oh my gosh, they didn't fucking power up at the beginning of the tournament. That's really rough. Because
a lot of them can't hold their forms either for that long.
So Ultra Instinct is got the most longevity.
Yeah.
Ultra Ego is going to be.
that's a pretty beefy form because his whole thing is just getting whooped on and getting stronger.
So I think, wow. Because none of my guys can fucking move faster than light. Instant transmission it's instant. So there's no speed. It's just instant.
It's bending space, not light. It's that Futurama travel.
Yes.
Where you bend the fabric of reality instead of trying to move faster than light.
That shit's still good, man.
Futurama is still good.
It still hits
there's
good.
still some very highbrow fucking humor in there.
Yeah. Damn.
This is interesting. Okay. So,
because Broly might get clapped too. He'd be the quickest one to go max form.
Yeah, he would be. He would be. He'd probably he'd be
foaming at the mouth.
Yeah,
he'd be ready to go straight away. He's like full form, bang.
Yeah.
Might get himself into trouble.
He's a little dumb. That's the other thing. He's a little dumb because he might fly straight at somebody, and that might be a problem.
That might be the end. So oh, damn it! I hate this. This shook me. This really shook me because you guys have really thought about this, and I really, honestly, should have waited until like the last second. I shouldn't have told anybody anything.
Yeah. Because I was having time to think about it. That gave me like.
That's crazy to me.
Because I'll be honest, I came up with my full strategy today.
You're a fucking stupid bastard.
Because
I can't stand it that you just have no thought, no planning. It's just like, oh well, if they all got challenged to a boxing match.
Listen. Like I said, I was about to go Fist of the North Star. I was about to do that, so I was kind of all in on that, and I was doing some deep diving on Fist of the North Star, and I was like, wait a tick. And then I completely shifted gears.
That's really weird. That's really weird.
Because I was about to be like, homie catches him with one of these. Fucking.
But the thing about pressure points is if your big ass burly muscles guard your shit.
Them Fist of the North Star guys are big, bro. That motherfucker's a big body. And he got some big homies with that shit. There's some Mad Max villains in there, homie. Like not only just like muscle but fat too. So fat.
This is the North Star is such a crazy pick.
I'm just saying it was either instant death or like mitigate almost everything. Tear it down to the most simple. Because even if it was MMA, it would be game over.
I killed a god. Now you've got a box. What?
Ding, ding, ding. I hate that shit. No, because okay, let me argue a little bit harder against these fucking DC dickheads.
Dick clappers.
Dick McClap. I don't know why.
So I think, okay, let me think. Piccolo. The special beam cannon doesn't charge fast enough. It's quicker now than it ever has been.
Right.
Yeah. Motherfucker got good with it. If he goes orange chicken, $5.99.
Yo, Popeyes do got a new meal that looks pretty good. It's 2 chicken wraps and a blueberry lemonade.
Wraps?
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. Have you ever had Mountain Dew Sweet Thunder? Have you ever had that?
That sounds like a sex drink.
I mean,
I'm gonna give her that sweet thunder.
she was all talking till I gave her that Sweet Thunder. It's Sweet Tea Mountain Dew, exclusive to KFC.
A lot of these
goodness.
companies are doing the soda tea thing.
Yeah, Sprite tea.
Yeah.
The only thing, Sprite tea might actually be better, but it's specifically Sweet Tea Mountain Dew. So if you like sweet tea,
I gotta go to a fucking KFC.
Mountain Dew is sweet enough already, though. I don't know that you need to add.
You're not gonna talk about sodas while I fucking waffle here in my impotent rage.
I'm giving you some time here.
Okay. We know you're not impotent.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Got a lot of kids.
got a lot of kids.
I've got a fucking ton of them.
You're building the baseball team.
For sure.
Got the whole.
I got a whole squad lined up.
He does his own Nintendo come up.
You've almost got a basketball team.
That's right. The height's gonna be good too. Anywho,
Except for your third one, who's got to be the power forward.
yeah.
Pick him up. Fuck it.
So let me think, man. Damn. Vegeta just barrages the whole field.
That is a Vegeta move. That's on brand Vegeta move.
Yep. He could light the whole field up.
Okay.
Now, we know that because there's a certain rule to the Dragon Ball Z projectile weapons.
Mm-hmm.
A ball can be deflected if you're strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
Beams clash, except for when they're finger point,
Mm-hmm.
like death beam or special beam cannon. In which case they're piercing, can't be guarded.
Ooh, that's interesting because if you think about Dr. Manhattan is essentially energy. Because we've seen energy get destroyed by energy before.
Yes.
So that's okay. That's kind of.
However, even though he gets discorporated, he just reassembles himself.
Ooh. Ooh, interesting. That might be the ringer right there. That might be a big problem.
So the final move, and I believe Piccolo. Nope. Only Vegeta has access to a disc. He's only used it once to chop off Gohan's tail when he went Great Ape.
Yeah.
But he can launch a disc. A
Mhm.
disc is
It is catchable.
a disc is not catchable.
They stopped Destructo Disc one time like that.
No.
Yeah.
You can't. It's fatal. The thing is, it'll cut.
Because I
If
do
you catch it around the cutting edge, though.
No.
I
Because
do remember
Nappa went to do that, and Vegeta warned him, "You'll die. Don't catch it." He had to jump to avoid,
because then he
and then it lopped a mountain in two.
yeah, because then he just like knees to chest.
Yeah, he did.
That motherfucker
He picked himself up. He's like, "Hey!" He did like the low Earth orbit.
So this is what let me break this down a little because here's the thing. I cheesed mine, but this is kind of interesting, right? So let's say Barrage starts the fight. Let's say this.
Yep.
How many people are getting out of the barrage? We know that the Flash is getting out of there.
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan is getting out of there.
Batman, Omega Batman.
Yeah, Omega Batman can get out of there.
And then Green Lantern can make an energy shield.
But how quick are they going to be able to react? Because there's
How
time.
resistant is the energy shield?
Oh,
So we've seen. That's an interesting thought. Is Vegeta's barrage yellow?
Oh, fuck. Because the thing is, that's technically true because it's pretty much as resistant as he wants it to be.
Yes.
As long as he has hope within it, then.
And which one are we talking about? We're talking about Lobo.
Lobo Green Lantern, because that is actually a thing.
Yes.
Because he blows up a planet with a giant cock.
I love him. I love him. Because the thing is,
Because he says, by Green Lantern's light, taste my giant cock, and then blows up a planet.
I love it. And that's a cocky motherfucker, too.
Yeah.
No fun.
He would get
intended.
along with the Z Fighters, honestly. They'd be like, we need some help from another universe. Lobo would show up on his fucking motorcycle, like, let's go.
I think so. Lobo, he might survive a barrage,
I think Lobo would survive.
but You want to know what he's not going to survive? Trying to block special beam cannon. Because that's what his ass would do.
So let's also say this. In fairness, let's say there's a retaliation. Because if Vegeta starts the battle, somebody else is throwing back, right?
Yeah.
So let's say bar for bar, we have a chance for somebody to come back now. You have the option of 4, arguably universal level threats that can then return an attack.
So what are they coming with? I think, Dr. Fate.
Flash is going to be first into the fight. He's going to be first into the fight, I promise.
And he's who's probably killing Piccolo.
So I will argue. So the special beam cannon, it can be launched. No.
In a straight line, that's never hitting him. That's never hitting the Flash.
The Flash can't fly. If you watch anything, you view anything with the Flash, he moves along surfaces. He can jump.
Yeah.
And he's made some crazy jumps.
Mm-hmm. He only needs one.
But a barrage levels a lot of things.
Yeah.
Let's say first barrage is probably going to level some movable terrain.
Yep.
So you might not have a lot of up options.
Well, now when it's exploding, he can just jump on it.
Yeah, that's fast enough. He can do that fast enough. That's the thing. Dude, let's be real though. That checks. That does check. Because that is the one reason why I say Flash is gonna be pretty lethal, because he can also comprehend things at the same speed that he can move.
Yeah.
So he's got the best chance of avoiding damn near everything. He can strategize as he's avoiding it. So he's gonna go after the weakest link immediately. If he fucking shakes some atoms on any one of them, and let's say it's Piccolo, I don't think Piccolo's all of his shit is straight lines. Even Stretchy Arms has travel distance. If it's got travel distance, the Flash is dodging it. He's getting past it.
So, okay, so I'm thinking Ultra Instinct takes the Flash.
Okay. So here's the thing. Do you think he's going to have enough time to go Ultra Instinct before the casualty happens?
No, if anything, the casualty is what spurs
the Ultra Instinct.
Because Goku never fights all out until it's absolutely necessary.
This is true. So if we're saying numbers v numbers, it evens the playing field, but that would give a chance for something that can kind of keep up with it to happen. So Ultra Instinct takes the field, but Piccolo's dead. I don't think we can argue that he's not dead by this point.
Okay. So I'm gonna say. So Lobo's dead
with Broly.
How's Broly die?
You just said it. He jumps in.
Okay.
He starts beating on Lobo. Dr. Manhattan just comes up and rips his heart out of his back.
Yeah, because the next aggressive move is definitely Broly. If Vegeta starts the fight, Flash dodges and kills, Broly's next one to attack, guaranteed. And it's going to be a dummy attack.
So Piccolo takes Lobo. He's gone. Broly was lost attacking Lobo by Dr. Manhattan.
How does Piccolo take Lobo? Piccolo's gone.
No, when that barrage goes off and the only one still standing is a big green shield, he's going to pierce the shield.
But speed-wise, you think he's getting that before the Flash kills him?
Flash is not going to clock the tactics until
I'm willing to argue that. I think Flash clocks that immediately. That's his thing.
But is he going to be worried about defending Lobo?
No, probably
no.
not.
But he's going to be worried about killing Piccolo. If Piccolo doesn't,
that beam's gone. It's off. He launched it.
I don't know.
He is not going to preemptively stop.
Piccolo, but he doesn't have speed feats like that. That's what I'm saying. If a barrage goes off and your first move is to dodge and then strike, I don't think Piccolo gets a beam off that quick. He's got to charge.
But is he busy clocking Vegeta, who just launched the first strike? Or is he busy checking out the other guys?
So here's one thing. So Vegeta launches that barrage, right? What if Dr. Fate just hits with his own counter barrage and it's all stopped in the air?
Because there can be an argument made there.
Dr. Fate's still got to do something with it.
Right. He conjures a giant magic spell. He's not dispelling it. You just said energy can counter energy. And the bullet barrage is all orbs, right?
Yep.
So those can all be canceled out by other orbs. So neutral.
That's kind of a fair argument. That is kind of a fair argument. This is what I'm saying. If we say charge rules, Flash kills Piccolo. If we say charge rules, he's dead. Because any amount of time that requires you to stop and prepare an attack, you don't got time.
Can Piccolo move while doing?
He cannot.
Okay.
That is the one thing, is that they went out of their way to establish that, because the only way he killed Raditz, and Raditz ain't even as fast as the Flash, he killed Raditz because Goku held him.
Oh, wow.
I'm willing to say he takes him before he gets that shot off. Now, is he going to be trying to hit the Flash? No. But I think even if he turns to somebody else, I think the Flash has got him.
That is...
His comprehension is too quick. I think that's the biggest thing. He'll be initiating a plan while Piccolo's still picking a target.
Son of a fucking bitch.
Okay. So we can argue this. If we, being fair, will say that if Vegeta's going to launch a barrage, does Dr. Fate have enough time to launch a counter barrage? I'm willing to argue probably not.
Because his spells, they're verbal, somatic. So he has to make moves. He has to say words.
Okay, if we're going the 6-second round, does Vegeta need 6 seconds to launch that barrage? Because that gives Dr. Fate the same amount of time.
I think it's sub 6 seconds. I think he can get in the air and start launching quicker than a lot of people can react.
Okay.
That's, even though he's, Prince of Saiyans, whatever, he was trained as a shock trooper.
Yeah.
He's akin to he's like a little bit of like a Navy SEAL, being able to kind of strike from nowhere.
Yeah, I would say combat sense wise, he's probably the best he got on the team.
I think anybody who takes time and needs to say magic words or do things like that is getting crushed by a barrage.
I think he has enough time to counter some of it, though.
He won't lose the team, but I would say he would probably lose that push.
Dr. Fate's dying first, but then Piccolo's gone. Then
we can argue Ultra Instinct takes the field, which would be essentially the counter for Flash.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Broly has attacked Lobo at this point. They've both died.
Yep.
So we're down to Omega Batman, Dr. Manhattan,
and
the Flash.
Yeah.
And then Vegeta, Son Gohan, and
Goku. Yeah. Which kind of your best lineup to fight them, I would say. Because the one thing, because Gohan's also very traditionally smart. It might not be battlefield sense, but calculations wise, you might be able to argue that he would stay ahead of a little bit of stuff, especially if now...
Is he smarter than Batman, though?
No.
But
Batman...
Omega Batman, remember, he does have powers now. It's not just Batman.
I still don't think he's fast enough to stop himself from getting just ripped to shreds. I think that's the thing is like, I think Dr. Fate and Batman are definitely dying to physical attacks or getting blasted.
So let's say, right, because this is kind of how I'm imagining the battlefield at this point. The Flash is kind of at a stalemate now because the attacks that he's trying to do are being disrupted by Goku. We can argue that he's got instant transmission. He might not be as traditionally fast as the Flash, but knowing what he's going to do, he can meet him there.
Yes.
So that's being mitigated pretty well. If we're saying Manhattan, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to deal with because that's kind of the trump card a little bit.
I think Manhattan
can do things without touching you. That's the thing. So if it comes down to, because we're gonna say there's also a chance because Goku's gonna be fighting the Flash at this point. He's not just swatting him. He's fighting him.
Yeah.
If we're running now, you know, something that can travel at faster than the speed of light versus, you know, somebody who can anticipate it, can there still be any type of mitigation that the Flash could do to actually stop Goku? I think that would be the question.
It depends on who gets tired quicker.
So that's tough because I think if it's endurance, we kind of got to give that to Goku.
Because I think that the Flash, if you think about his fights, he doesn't get in prolonged engagements.
No.
And if he was shaken with Goku, I think it'd be the first time in his history that he's going to break his stride by getting tired. Because Ultra Instinct is going to keep him safe while he continues to pick. He'll swing, and it's not fast enough to touch the Flash. Yeah,
true.
But you just hold on. You play the long game.
Yeah,
and the long game when you're moving as fast as the Flash is only a few seconds.
That is true because even though his metabolism would obviously be something of a metahuman, probably damn near godly by that point. But it would still be limited. I mean, he's still the Flash is, though a metahuman, still a human.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I think that's a fair argument that you might run into a problem fighting Goku at that point. Mitigation, but.
So how long can Goku maintain Ultra Instinct, though?
So that's actually an interesting question.
Because here's the thing, right? Dr. Manhattan is always on. There's no scaling. There's no...
I'm trying to clean up the field to get to Dr. Manhattan.
Because I think that's what we're kind of dealing with now is that in the early fights, a lot of the ones that could lay waste to an entire field are kind of gone just from shock and awe. You know what I mean? Because if Dr. Fate could set up, you might have a big problem.
Yeah, it'd be much different. But I think Lobo's going down to Ultra Ego Vegeta. It's just a matter of all he could do is block. He's not fast enough to pull off anything else, and he's going to block until he can't.
Yeah,
and I think, will is one thing, but it is a mental strain to use the Green Lantern's powers. Vegeta's just going to sit there and put pressure on him until he cracks.
Yep.
And then he's going to rip him to shreds. It's going to be a bloodbath. I think the Flash might go down if he doesn't have help.
Yes.
I think Batman's gone. It's how much damage can you put on somebody who can reconstitute themselves?
So here's the thing, right?
This is true.
So what if Dr. Manhattan just makes Gohan go Great Ape and now he's fighting his own team?
Gohan doesn't have a tail anymore.
He can regrow it.
Yeah, that is true. The matter is what he wants it to be.
So, I think Great Ape Gohan is going to be the weakest of the Great Ape transformations.
Right, but now you've got somebody fighting your own team.
And if they have to stop Gohan, you now lost Gohan. Even if it's indirect, you've lost Gohan.
And while you're fighting him, you're exposed.
I think I don't have.
Not like Goku is going to just be fine after dealing with Flash.
That is true.
He's going to be tired. And Vegeta, we've seen Vegeta spend all of his energy. It happens quick.
And also, Goku will probably not attack his own son to the point of killing him. So it would be stalemate for Goku and attacking Gohan for Vegeta. So now you've locked up all fighters. There's an opening, and you've taken out one of them.
So I'm thinking with distractions, it probably would be a thing. I don't think Dr. Manhattan's fast enough.
Doesn't need to be.
But I think I'm lacking some bullshit in my power set.
Because matter control is tough because it doesn't really matter how fast you're moving.
Doesn't really matter.
Because it's like you can move super fast and still just as far as like what you are, this shit even takes your legs out from under you. You ain't running nowhere.
Or if he's just moving you back constantly.
Yeah. It's like set up for a kick. Can't really happen. Because as soon as you try to set up and take a step, that's kind of mitigated. So now there's energy. You have to use energy, which energy you would have to conjure enough to completely wipe out Dr. Manhattan. Energy versus energy. Mm-hmm. Which are you going to be able to do that well at charge? If there's a charge, it's game over.
Because, I mean, a spirit bomb might be able to do it, but that's a lot of charge.
Yeah, that's a lot
and
of
I
charge.
don't think who's left can guard Goku long enough for that to happen.
So, here would be the play.
Okay.
So here would be the argument. Goku, when using his non-perfect Ultra Instinct against Kefla. No, what was the fusion?
Oh, I forget their name.
You know what I mean? Girl Broly.
Random girl bosses.
Girl Broly. And this was the imperfect Ultra Instinct. He was able to do something that he wasn't able to do in the series history, which was do a full run while charging his Kamehameha.
Okay.
So, I submit to you that the final gambit would be, because Gohan, I'm going to accept that Gohan's gone.
Okay.
He just doesn't have it in him to make it. Even in his beast form, I think he'd be better. And the odds would be better if they tried the gambit before he dies.
Right.
But here's my gambit, right?
Okay.
Vegeta uses everything he has to hold back Dr. Manhattan, while Goku in Ultra Instinct does a mobile spirit bomb charge. I think he could. I'm willing to bet he probably could.
So there is, since you were looking stuff up, I decided to look something up. Omega Batman has the anti-life equation.
Oh gosh. DC's full of bullshit.
Well, lucky you guys, because I could have looked up at least the name of my guys if I had my phone.
This legendary anti-life equation breaks the souls and spirits of all those put under its influence, allowing whoever possesses the equation to control them.
That still takes that's still a wind up.
I don't know though. How? I don't know. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. We can kind of accept that, yeah, maybe that's kind of a bit of a wind up, right? We'll say that
So how perceptive are the Saiyans against stealthy opponents, though?
They have the ability to clock energy moving around them.
Right.
So-
but Batman doesn't have to use energy to move.
It's your key, your life force energy.
Batman
only
doesn't
thing
have
is-
key.
Everything has key.
So mind you, but people have hidden their power levels by being at such a low level that people can detect them. They've done that before in Dragon Ball Z.
I'm gonna. If Dr. Manhattan got hit with a spirit ball or a spirit bomb,
This is I got an argument. I got an argument for that. Yes, he can charge. He might be able to charge it mobily, but is he going to be able to charge it enough uncontested to destroy Dr. Manhattan? Because the spirit.
yes, he
bomb-
can. You
So,
want to know why he's gonna do it?
because you don't want to lose?
He's gonna do the one move that he only did one time, but it is in the arsenal. He channels the spirit bomb into his own body and delivers it physically with the dragon fist. He hits him with that,
I forgot about
and that motherfucker's gone. Splitzo, done.
So keeping in mind how quickly Rorschach was taken out of existence completely, keeping that in mind, you're saying that Vegeta's going to be able to hold him long enough that Goku's going to be able to mobile charge and get in close and hit him.
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying, because
Because
Rorschach
Dr.
was
Manhattan
gone. Like,
can split himself into multiple copies, too, and they're all just as powerful.
My verse doesn't have enough bullshit in it, and now I'm very upset. This is not how I expected this day to go.
DC was a good choice. I might even say that Marvel would probably struggle a little bit more. DC always be trying to one up.
Call it BC bullcrap. Fucking unreasonable.
Are we saying? Are we calling it? Are we trying
I'm
to
not
say?
saying anything. I'm Namekian.
I hate you so much.
But I guess it does work. I guess that is the verdict. I've been bested.
It's a close fight, but like Dr. Manhattan is like hard to deal with.
I think that is kind of the difference maker. Is that early fight distractions would be tough, but it very much is kind of one-sided to Z fighters. I'll be honest, they could wipe most of them like that. But what's left is the problem. If the Flash couldn't live early, then you might have a chance. But the Flash, even being a distraction, is certainly enough to set up some wiping from existence and reshaping potentially.
I fucking hate DC. Fuck you, DC.
That's your beef this week?
That is my beef this week for sure.
Goku gets turned into Mr. P6.
And with that, we have reached the end. We are Critical Hit, and that was versus.
Some bullshit.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
The only way that you can manage to genuinely, I will say competitively win, it's almost not even really like verse versus verse, but competitively win against Dragon Ball Z is to pull some bullshit.
Yep.
We want to start an argument in the comment section down below, by the way. We know you verse fans are out there.
Yeah.
DC, Dragon Ball Z, anime in general, you know what I mean?
Video games.
Let's talk about it. Do you agree with the verdict today?
Can custom robo beat cubics?
Fuck yeah. You can make some hot robots and custom robots.
Find us on Twitter.
Metabots versus Pokemon.
They got.
They have like guns. And
Yeah.
shit.
just critter hunting. Find us on Twitter at
Fine, Metabots versus Gundam.
Crit Hit Official. Find us on YouTube at CritTube. Find us at your favorite podcast spot, because we're audio again. We're back.
Welcome back, everybody. We missed you, my friend.
Catch us weekly for great. Bumble back.
Like, subscribe, comment, ring the notification.
Boogity, 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 boogity.
Hut!